A sizzling beef patty hits the hot grill, sending up a smoky, mouth-watering aroma. As it sears to a perfect golden brown, a pair of soft buns sits ready to embrace it. Despite its undeniable appeal, this beloved American classic carries a name that might leave you scratching your head: the hamburger. After all, there's not a trace of ham in the mix. The story behind the name unfolds in a journey from the German port city of Hamburg to the lively fairgrounds of 19th century America, where culinary innovation and practicality came together in the most surprising of ways. Hamburger, no ham? But why? Our journey begins in the city of Hamburg, Germany, a place known not only for its rich maritime history but also for its fine beef. Throughout the late Middle Ages, Hamburg's reputation as a thriving port city also made it a hub for cultural exchange, bringing new foods and flavors from all over Europe and beyond. Among the city's culinary specialties was a particular way of preparing beef, which involved finely mincing or chopping high-quality meat, seasoning it, and forming it into a patty. This preparation was known as Hamburg steak, a dish that became synonymous with quality and was praised for its flavor and texture. For Hamburg's residents, the Hamburg steak wasn't just a typical meat dish, it was a local delicacy. Often served with onions, bread, and occasionally a rich gravy, it was a meal fit for the dining tables of even the most discerning German households. But as German immigrants began to set sail for new lives in the United States during the 19th century, they brought with them their culinary traditions. The Hamburg steak traveled across the ocean, finding a new home in American cities like New York, where immigrants settled and sought comfort in the flavors of their homeland. By the mid-1800s, restaurants catering to German immigrants began to include Hamburg steak on their menus. It wasn't yet the hamburger as we know it today, but it was a crucial step in its evolution. The dish was served as a seasoned ground beef patty, sometimes grilled or fried, and presented on a plate rather than in a bun. It was hearty, flavorful, and a taste of home for the German immigrants who craved familiar foods. The Hamburg steak's American chapter was unfolding, but the dish's next transformation would come from the bustling urban centers that defined the industrial era. As America industrialized in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, cities swelled with workers seeking employment in factories, mills, and shipyards. These laborious needed quick, affordable meals, and food vendors were more than willing to meet the demand. It was during this time that the idea of serving a Hamburg steak between two slices of bread emerged, making it portable and easy to eat on the go. This new format was perfect for busy workers who had little time for leisurely meals. The origins of this portable version are debated, with several stories claiming the title of the first hamburger. One popular tale attributes it to Charlie Green, a young food vendor from Wisconsin, who in 1885 decided to flatten meatballs and place them between slices of bread to make them easier to eat at the Seymour Fair. Another version credits Frank and Charles Menches, brothers from Ohio who reportedly ran out of pork sausage at the 1885 Erie County Fair and substituted ground beef, serving it on bread. Yet another account claims that the first true hamburger was made by Louis Lassen, a Danish immigrant who operated a lunch wagon in New Haven, Connecticut. As the story goes, in 1900, a hurried customer requested something they could eat on the run, prompting Louis to place a Hamburg steak between two slices of toast. Regardless of the exact origin, this new sandwich was quickly embraced across the country, finding popularity at fairs, food stands, and lunch counters. As the hamburger began to spread, it shed some of its German roots, adapting to its new American context. The name hamburger persisted, not due to any connection to ham, but because of its association with the city of Hamburg. Linguistically, the evolution from Hamburg steak to hamburger steak, and finally to simply hamburger, was a natural progression. It was now shorthand for a ground beef patty rather than a reference to the city itself. The name hamburger was not without its own confusion, however. In the early 20th century, the term occasionally led people to mistakenly believe that the dish contained pork, given the ham prefix. This misconception prompted some food sellers to introduce the term beef burger as a way to clarify the dish's ingredients. However, the name hamburger had already become too popular to be replaced, and it stuck around, even as the modern hamburger continued to evolve. The arrival of fast food restaurants in the mid-20th century catapulted the hamburger into the cultural spotlight. White Castle, established in 1921, became one of the first fast food chains to popularize the hamburger, followed by McDonald's, which opened its first restaurant in 1940. These companies not only made hamburgers a staple of American dining, but also turned them into a symbol of convenience, affordability, and fast-paced modern life. The humble hamburger had gone from a regional specialty to a national icon. Despite its rise to fame, the hamburger's name has remained a curiosity, seemingly at odds with its beefy composition. The hamburger moniker is ultimately a tribute to the city of Hamburg, where the original minced beef preparation took its name. It's a case of historical and linguistic happenstance, an example of how cultural influences are adopted, adapted, and reimagined. Today, the hamburger has undergone countless reinventions. Whether it's a classic cheeseburger, a plant-based alternative, or a gourmet version topped with truffles, the essence of the hamburger remains grounded in that simple beef patty, seasoned and cooked to perfection. The dish is not only a favorite across the United States, but also a beloved meal around the world, appearing in countless variations that reflect local tastes and traditions. As you take your next bite of a hamburger, you're savoring more than just a sandwich, you're experiencing a piece of culinary history that began in medieval Germany and traveled across the Atlantic to become a defining feature of American culture. It's a history that reminds us how food can connect different places and eras, bringing people together across time and space. The hamburger may not contain ham, but it carries within its name a rich legacy of cultural exchange. It's a reminder of how a simple dish can evolve, transcending its origins to become a global phenomenon. The next time you enjoy a hamburger, think of it not just as a meal, but as a story that connects us to our past and to each other, a delicious reminder that history can indeed be served between two slices of bread. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.